So I had a ton of questions on my dog drawing iron-ons that I did with my laser. I use Siser easyweed, which is a polyurethane and not a PVC heat transfer vinyl, and was able to engrave away, or some people might say ablate, to get it to do kind of an engraved look on these. So my process was that I started with Photoshop, and I'm going to do a Star Wars t-shirt just for myself, not for sale. So I took it into Photoshop and I removed the background, and as long as you're on, as you get off unlock the background layer, you can get to layer 1, and because of the grid marks, you know that it's not got a white background. And then I'm going to turn it black and white and invert the image. So I already had done that. And then I'll bring it into Illustrator and I'll make an outline of it. And I'm offsetting this a little bit so it'll have a little thick black outline on it whenever it cuts around it. It's going to engrave the raster image, and then it'll cut the vector line, and it's actually going to score the vector line. Everything in pink is going to be a score, and then that'll do a kiss cut like you would do with like your Cricut, to where you weed away just that. And you'll notice the insides of the letters I've turned blue, so it will cut all the way through, and then you won't have to weed those out. And don't forget to mirror it because it's an iron-on and it has to be the opposite way. So I'll bring this into Glowforge, and you can see that's going to be an engrave. These will be scores, and the other ones will be cut. And so on the left side, you'll see I moved the engrave part down to the bottom, because when it engraves, it kind of melts a little bit on that the plastic backer, and it'll kind of warp it a little bit, and it'll make it hard for the score lines to work. So if you do the cut and score first and then engrave last, you've already got those cut lines working through it. And then I've put my easyweed down on a scrap piece of birch that was already masked, and I just used some repositionable adhesive to hold it down to make sure it's nice and flat. I'm using my pins to hold it down. So we'll go ahead and shut this, come over here, and we'll want to set focus because we want it to get the exact height of where the easyweed sits as soon as it cooperates with me. So here we go, set focus. Hear the laser going over, seeing where it's at. It's focusing. Now we'll hit print. And I'm in the fast lane now. I wasn't yesterday, but I am today. I decided to go ahead and try in case, so I could try to get into the Glowforge catalog. You'll see it's 38 minutes and 35 seconds to print this. So, you know, it's not something you want to do normally, but it might be nice for little small things like this. The image itself is only about 3 to 4 inches. As you can see, it's cutting through on the inside of the letters, and now it's going to do the outline. And even this part, even if you're willing to weed, goes a lot faster, I feel like, than the Cricut does. But I'm going to stop this video here, and then I'll come back later on when it's most of the way done with engraving the review. Alright, so now it's done. I'm going to pull it out. And you can see through, it's gone through to the paper, or where you can see through the clear backer to the paper. And then it just cut, or did a score for everything else except for the middle letters, which should fall out when I peel it back. Well, not completely fell out, but be easy to pop out. So that'll save us some time on weeding. And then I just need to weed out the extra stuff like you would on a normal thing. Put my phone down. You can see how I did the score around the Baby Yoda so that it'd be easy to weed them off. Now it looks like it did go through on some of the engraving part, but I think that'll be okay. It'll just iron on what dark parts we'll need. Sorry, I don't have a better camera set up. And pop out the little insides of the letters. And now it's ready to be ironed on.